surprised at all. It's who he is. It's who he is. I've always thought that he's a horrible person, and this is every bit of proof.
To help you start a business, but I need you guys to take what I've already started and triple and double that.
Floyd Mayweather is bankrupt. At least that's what Logan Paul thinks. Logan hopped on the walkway to Fight Club show, and when he was asked about being paid, he was nothing short of honest.
It's unfortunate because, you know, same Floyd Money Mayweather. Surely I was going to get my check fairly quickly, right? And that did happen, so I'm sure it'll come eventually, right?
In a shocking twist of events, Floyd Mayweather was spotted tearing up during a live broadcast after longtime associate Leonard Ellerbe allegedly revealed documents implying that the undefeated champion is encountering bankruptcy.
The business model that he put out there, it doesn't necessarily work for everyone. Okay. But it's a business model, and these fighters aspire to be great, but they also aspire for shit money.
The heartfelt moment left fans astonished, as Mayweather, known for his extravagant lifestyle and money persona, has always depicted an image of invincible wealth and financial superiority. The disclosed evidence, if factual, could represent a major turning point in the public's view of the former champion and provoke serious concerns about the true price of living the luxurious life.
Mayweather Promotions fighter still? Is he not? What is his kind of still his involvement with Mayweather Promotions, or is it just all still PBC out hanging?
Yeah, Tank is not signed to Mayweather Promotions.
Okay, gotcha.
He's not signed to Mayweather Promotions. His contract ran out, and that's fine. But as I always say, contracts don't define relationships.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not merely another boxer. He is arguably the greatest defensive fighter of all time and one of the sport's most accomplished entrepreneurs. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mayweather turned professional in 1996 and shaped a career that would be the desire of any athlete. Known for his quickness, intellect, and expert defense, he retired with a flawless 50-0 record. However, what truly distinguished Mayweather was his ability to capitalize on his brand. Through clever promotions, particularly through his firm Mayweather Promotions and headline-grabbing bouts against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, Mayweather earned over $1 billion in lifetime earnings. He showcased his fortune unapologetically, embracing the nickname Money Mayweather and transforming it into a worldwide brand. Private jets, diamond-encrusted watches, and million-dollar shopping sprees made Floyd a living emblem of luxury and achievement. But as with many tales of enormous wealth, there's often a darker side hidden behind the dazzling exterior.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3-4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. Ooh. 18 life.
That happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But wow. You gotta show him what he's saying.
Money green.
No, hold on.
This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece.
One of one.
Money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
I think it's a one of one. I love that.
Mayweather Promotions, established by the legendary Floyd Mayweather Jr., swiftly rose to become a dominant presence in the realm of boxing, with Mayweather's unparalleled success in the ring and international fame providing the foundation. The company forged a distinct identity centered on fighter empowerment and high-stakes bouts. Leonard Ellerbe, as the former CEO, played a vital role in steering the brand to new heights. Under his guidance, Mayweather Promotions was essential in orchestrating some of the most memorable and profitable events in boxing history, one of the most remarkable accomplishments was the historic Mayweather vs. Manny Pacquiao bout in 2015, which shattered pay-per-view records and generated over $600 million in revenue. Following that, the 2017 crossover mega fight between Mayweather and UFC superstar Conor McGregor further affirmed the company's reputation as a promotional giant, pulling in more than 4 million PPV purchases. These events not only yielded astonishing profits but also attracted global attention, cementing the Mayweather brand as synonymous with spectacle and triumph.
Like he tried to get Pacquiao out of here.
Exactly. Entered the ring. He didn't get off to his fastest start. Hits him into the corner.
Less using the jab as a not more than a rangefinder because it landed to land at the ropes. He wheels off those.
With a sense in his mind that he wants to do, he can do.
Mayweather, because they felt that he was the obstacle to getting the fight made.
He couldn't fight as he did against Margarito on much slower.
Came in not really as up on point like Floyd was, and he got a way different outcome.
Without the tactical ammunition to open up. And in Grand Rapids, Las Vegas.
Leonard Ellerby's era as CEO of Mayweather Promotions was marked by sharp business insight, strategic foresight, and a deep grasp of the fight industry. Under his leadership, the company not only flourished economically but also became a launchpad for boxing's next generation of talents. One of his most notable success stories was Gervonta "Tank" Davis, discovered and mentored by the Mayweather Ellerby team. Davis transformed from a hopeful young talent into a global pay-per-view sensation. His electrifying knockouts, captivating personality, and perfect record turned him into a household name, and much of that triumph was credited to Ellerby's hands-on mentorship and promotion.
Fight as he did against Margarito on much slower.
Came in not really as up on point like Floyd was, and he got a way different outcome.
Without the tactical ammunition to open up. And in Grand Rapids.
He the one told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday. He told Frank that. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? So it's good to beef with him than be cool with him because he can do some crazy stuff. He'll put you in bad situations.
However, when Leonard Ellerby officially exited from Mayweather Promotions, it sent shockwaves throughout the boxing world. Gervonta Davis, who had already been voicing frustration over his promotional path, didn't hold back. In interviews and on social media, Davis made it evident that he felt deceived and underappreciated during his time with the organization. He implied that both Ellerby and Mayweather were more invested in business image than in fighter progress toward the end. The separation highlighted tensions within the once solid Mayweather Promotions team, signaling that even the most successful alliances in boxing can encounter conflict behind the curtain.
Boxing chat. This is just a quick one that the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe, has left his role with immediate effect. He's been replaced by Richard Schaefer. God knows what's going on in the Mayweather camp, but I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Amid the astounding multi-million-dollar fraud allegations, recent reports are surfacing suggesting that Floyd Mayweather may, in fact, be insolvent, a revelation that adds even more fuel to the already volatile controversy. The whispers of financial collapse are no longer merely rumors but are being echoed by individuals within the combat sports community. One of the most startling claims came from former UFC fighter and current analyst Chael Sonnen, who has never hesitated to speak his opinion. Sonnen dropped a revelation when he alleged that the highly hyped Mayweather vs. McGregor super fight, widely regarded as one of the most profitable events in sports history, might not have been as successful as portrayed. According to him, the massive spectacle was supported by illusion. He stated that many of the vacant seats in the arena were secretly filled by individuals posing as spectators. An elaborate scheme designed to make the venue appear sold out. As someone who attended and reported on the event live, Sonnen didn't hold back, calling out the deception orchestrated by Mayweather's PR machine.
It's all anybody was talking about.
Yeah, there's still a number.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how big a draw is, there's still a number. If this guy got 100 million, this guy got 100 million, then you got to advertise it, promote it. You got to bring
It's the guarantees that kill everything. If they were just getting percentages, then obviously everybody would.
You're saying the seats were empty. I can understand it not making the money, but the seats being empty seems seems
peculiar.
crazy.
Yeah, and there's nothing in the world where you have a pay-per-view hit that didn't have a live audience hit. Like if your live audience is your first focus group, isn't sold out, you didn't do pay-per-view numbers.
Sure.
But boxing will still claim that to this day. They still to this day claim that that's number one. And if you want to be the biggest pay-per-view in boxing history, all you have to do is claim it.
The downfall of Leonard Ellerby, Mayweather's longtime friend, advisor, and the former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, officially stepped down. But he wasn't just a business associate. He was the mastermind behind many of Mayweather's most lucrative strategies outside the ring. For years, he managed negotiations, supervised event promotions, and helped preserve the flawless image of the money brand. His presence allowed Mayweather to focus solely on boxing while still profiting from every dollar his name could generate. Ellerby's exit marked more than just a corporate parting. It was the beginning of a gradual collapse of the empire they had built together. Without his tactical direction and insider knowledge of the fight business, cracks began to show in Mayweather's operations. Promotions lacked the same energy, new fighters started distancing themselves from the brand, and murmurs of financial mismanagement began to surface. Internally, sources revealed that Floyd struggled to manage the logistics and decision-making that had previously been overseen by Ellerby. Without a trusted right-hand man, Mayweather's empire began to lose momentum. Whispers in boxing circles began to grow louder as rumors of internal strife at Mayweather Promotions turned into full-blown speculation. Behind the glam and glitter, sources close to the matter implied that Leonard Ellerby hadn't stepped down willingly but had instead been quietly removed. Although no public statements confirmed this theory, the silence from Floyd Mayweather himself only intensified the speculation. For someone known for his flashy persona and his tendency to control the narrative, Floyd's decision to remain silent was odd, raising suspicions across the industry.
I remember first hearing an issue between Floyd and Gervonta before Gervonta fought Pedraza. And the issue I heard was that Floyd didn't want Gervonta to stay in Baltimore because he felt there was too many distractions for him in Baltimore and he wanted to stay in Vegas. And the story I was told at that time was that Floyd gave Gervonta one of his penthouses or one of his apartments in the Palms Hotel, and he said, "This is your apartment. I'll furnish it for you." He got him a Jeep. At the time, Gervonta was not a world champion. He got him like a Jeep, a 4x4. You know, he basically said, "I'll make it comfortable for you. I don't want you to go to Baltimore. I want you to stay here. I don't think Baltimore is the place for you." You know. And what I was told was, Gervonta sold all the furniture, sold the Jeep, and went back to Baltimore and bought a Benz. You know, with that's what I was. For real? That's what I was told at the time.
So when Leonard Ellerby resigned from his position as CEO of Mayweather Promotions, the organization required someone with both experience and foresight to sustain its prominence within the boxing arena. Richard Schaefer, the former CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, emerged as the strongest contender for the role. Schaefer's appointment was regarded as a tactical decision, due to his extensive expertise and achievements in promoting top-tier fights, including the legendary Mayweather vs. De La Hoya matchup. His deep-rooted industry ties and astute negotiation capabilities made him an ideal candidate to lead Mayweather Promotions through a period of uncertainty. However, despite his qualifications, Schaefer faced an intimidating task. Ellerby had been more than just a business executive to Floyd Mayweather. He was a trusted confidant who helped mold Mayweather Promotions into a worldwide force. The timing of Ellerby's exit seemed to coincide with the escalating conflict between Mayweather and Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Once thought to be the successor to Mayweather's throne, Davis had become increasingly outspoken about his displeasure with how he was being managed. He frequently took to social media to express his frustrations, directly criticizing both the company and Mayweather. Some insiders suspect Davis's growing influence may have driven a divide between Ellerby and Floyd. Ellerby, who had been essential in nurturing Tank's career, may have found himself in a difficult position, forced to choose sides in a battle between mentor and protege. In the end, this internal strain might have led to the disintegration of what was once a powerful bond at the core of Mayweather Promotions.
Okay, and he tried to plant fake news out here saying that he was in downtown LA giving out money, and then he was at the what do you call it, the basketball game. This is Floyd in Dubai. Yeah, because there's a lot of people out here that think just because people are flashing money means that they have money. It's so backwards. You just don't understand how backwards it is, okay? Because when you earn it, you, like I said, you don't want nobody to know you got it. But here's the thing, if Floyd had money, don't you think the money would have already been transferred there? If Floyd had money, don't you think the money would have already been transferred there?
Floyd Mayweather experienced both personal and professional clashes with Gervonta Davis, and their dispute unfolded in the public eye. With Mayweather expressing irritation over Davis's attitude and dedication, in one of his tweets, Davis even bluntly called Floyd a __, though he later deleted it. Leonard Ellerbe, however, remained unwavering in his belief in the young boxer. He viewed Davis as the future face of the sport and continued to support him despite tensions. Before Floyd transformed into the larger-than-life figure known as Money Mayweather, his financial troubles had already begun simmering beneath the surface. Long before the jets, luxury watches, and Instagram displays, there were signs that things weren't as secure as they appear. Reports indicated that Floyd was facing serious jail time over unpaid taxes, a startling development for someone who constantly proclaimed himself the highest-paid athlete globally. In a desperate effort to avoid incarceration, he allegedly borrowed $2 million just to cover part of his IRS obligations. This wasn't the action of a financial genius. It reflected someone struggling to uphold a facade while barely keeping afloat. At one point, Mayweather's unpaid tax bill soared to a massive $22.20 million, a number that painted a grim picture of someone whose expenditures likely far exceeded his income or at least surpassed responsible planning, for a man who claimed to rest on piles of cash and flaunted millions in jewelry. That level of debt drew significant concern. It unveiled a harsh truth that many fans hesitated to accept. Maybe the empire Floyd had built wasn't as bulletproof as it appeared, and perhaps the money persona was more illusion than reality.
Up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow.
Now, in the latest and perhaps most damaging strike against Floyd Mayweather's reputation, he is confronted with multiple scam accusations that jeopardize the remnants of his once celebrated empire. Central to these allegations is a staggering $42 million property fraud that has shaken both the boxing and business worlds. According to sources, Floyd was allegedly entangled in a deceptive real estate venture in which investors were promised enormous returns on luxury developments that either never existed or never reached completion. The supposed scheme involved misleading individuals into investing millions into projects backed, or claimed to be backed, by Mayweather's name and image. Victims state they were shown falsified documents, manipulated financial forecasts, and even counterfeit blueprints, all carefully crafted to lend an air of legitimacy. Floyd's public connection to the initiative helped attract influential investors, many of whom now feel deceived. When reports emerged that Mayweather had made generous donations to homeless shelters in Los Angeles, many applauded the gesture, viewing it as a rare act of community goodwill. However, the praise was short-lived. Shortly after, Mayweather posted a series of Instagram pictures showing himself indulging in luxury in Dubai. At the very time the donations were supposedly made, the contradiction between his online presence and the donation timeline sparked doubt. Was this simply a tactic to salvage his damaged image amidst increasing financial scandals? If that was the aim, it failed spectacularly, deepening skepticism around his intentions and further chipping away at his credibility. The situation grew even darker when Gervonta Davis, once Mayweather's protege, made a startling accusation. According to Davis, Mayweather wasn't gallivanting across the globe as he portrayed, but was allegedly being detained in Dubai due to outstanding debts related to unpaid luxury items and jewelry. Davis's bold statement sent shockwaves through the boxing scene. escalating the already intense concerns about Mayweather's financial health and reputation. What started as whispers of controversy quickly erupted into a widespread scandal.
Dubai because he owes people money. And, you know, these are coming from trustworthy sources, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather, people who know about Floyd Mayweather's inner life. But back to TMZ. So they reported Floyd Mayweather was courtside for last night's pivotal Clippers versus Mavericks game, but before money got to the arena, he was handing it out, blessing 3 homeless men with $30K. Now, there are no pictures, there is no video of this happening, but there is an official TMZ article, and TMZ usually gets it right. TMZ also said, we're told Mayweather began talking to the guys and decided he wanted to help, so he busted out his backpack and blessed each guy with 10 racks. I don't want to show my face, but Floyd just gave us 30,000, Reynolds, one of the men, said after receiving the...
Leonard Ellerbe played an essential role in transforming Mayweather Promotions into a dominant force within the boxing industry as CEO. He not only managed some of the most legendary matches in the sport's history, including the record-breaking Mayweather vs. Pacquiao bout, but also guided the careers of fighters like Gervonta Davis. Under Ellerbe's leadership, Davis evolved from a budding talent into a pay-per-view phenomenon, securing his place as one of the brightest stars in the boxing world. Ellerbe's mentorship, combined with his sharp understanding of the business, enabled Mayweather Promotions to thrive for years. When he ultimately chose to step down, the company issued a heartfelt statement expressing deep appreciation for his invaluable contributions. They acknowledged that his departure was driven by a desire to spend more time with family and loved ones. However, in a frank interview, Ellerbe voiced serious concerns about Mayweather's legacy. He emphasized that while Floyd's boxing career was already immortalized, one misstep or unforeseen scandal could severely harm the reputation he had worked so tirelessly to build. Ellerbe warned that without proper leadership and strategic direction, Floyd risked becoming a figure of ridicule and irreparably damaging his place in boxing history.
On Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo going back and forth, I know you kind of told Oscar off yourself in the last press conference you was in with him.
I don't really... You know, I was obviously here. Oscar is just being Oscar. But Canelo has a lot of knowledge and a lot of information. I do know that. And Pandora's box is probably opened up.
Right.
It's probably anything goes now.
Right. Yeah, I was reading the translation of what he said. I was like, oh, he said all of that. I was shocked. Yeah. So my final question to you is, I was talking to some other people in the media. Who do you think will win in their prime at maybe middleweight? Canelo versus Oscar De La Hoya?
A lot of people...
What's your take on the explosive accusations surrounding Floyd Mayweather? Do you believe there's truth behind the rumors, or is it all just exaggerated media buzz? Drop your opinions in the comments below.